I want to understand, and for all of us, how is Shiprocket different?
India has 5% retail penetration.
हो गया 5%.
5-6% जो भी
Yeah,
है, but
yeah.
there's a lot of room.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I am very happy that more people are behind this cause.
Yeah.
Few years ago, people thought we were crazy. They didn't even understand कि ये है क्या, मतलब
Yeah,
क्यों
yeah.
चाहिए ये. You know, so I'm glad that the government, other orgs, बहुत अच्छी बात है. Like it's the more the merrier, right? In some ways, because इतनी market creation pending है, इतनी awareness pending है, that the more people talk about it. And in many ways, we give credit to Amazon and Flipkart for creating that market of saying buying online, selling online is good. At least that
I would
bridge.
say first Flipkart in India at
Sure,
least.
sure.
Yeah.
They helped
make
us.
my trip to get people to use their credit card online.
Red bus,
That was
all
the
of
biggest.
them,
That was the biggest challenge
Right, so
that people didn't
build
want
on
to
top
use.
of like what's happening.
In a way, you're building the ecosystem also, and especially in tier 2, 3 India.
Absolutely, and that's it's a big area of focus for us. I think what Flipkart and Amazon did for tier 1 and metro in the early part of this decade, new startups like Meesho are now doing for tier 2, tier 3 cities, where people are getting more used to buying online. Earlier, it was through WhatsApp groups, through resellers, people who they trusted. Then that trust translated into online buying and credit card buying. And now we truly believe that the next wave of direct-to-consumer commerce in India, people use this term Bharat commerce a lot, but it's going to come from tier 2 and 3 because those markets are underserved. Today, no one is really focusing on how to educate and train people who want to set up their own online businesses in tier 2 and 3 cities. We all assume that sitting in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, they have the same access to resources that we have here.
Yeah.
They don't have startup mixers happening probably every weekend. They don't have talks happening by the large advertising companies, logistics companies. What we're trying to do is build that ecosystem now in tier 2 and 3. And the fruit of that might not come in the next year or 2 years, but as India grows, as e-commerce penetration grows, the next wave of sellers, D2C sellers, online sellers, we very firmly believe will, and they're already there. It's just that it's not as penetrated as it should be today. Still, a lot of the sellers are concentrated in few of the larger cities, and we want to build that.
Tell us some of the things that you're sensing on ground. And Akshay, I want to also ask you this question because there's a huge conversation in the startup ecosystem that India में सिर्फ 60 million users हैं. मुझे लगता है इंडिया में हम सब बहुत सारे हैं. तो सच कहाँ है?
In 5 years of doing this business, while we've grown like whatever 50 times,
phenomenally.
Right? Our trend on tier 1 versus tier 2 demand side trend has inverted. So what used to be 70-30, 70 tier 1 is now 35 tier 1, 65 tier 2.
Wow.
Right? And inching there, which means it's in that direction where a lot of the buyer is sitting in the tier 2, 3 and so on. Right? So that's one. On the seller side also, the 60-40 has become 45-55, right? There are now sellers coming in from smaller cities who are finding it easy to jump on the bandwagon and say, okay, I'll just do this and Shiprocket and I'm ready to go. So I can try this. A lot of it changed during COVID, which is also interesting on the seller side because a lot of people probably needed to change at that time or needed to experiment with this business model because there was nothing else available. On the how many buyers are there, so I can tell you data because we power all these transactions, right? We have uniquely served already about 80-85 million buyers, right? Cumulative. Now it could be just one transaction, but they are there, like because someone
that's
went to their doorstep and made a delivery. So I mean,
that's a very, very good number.
Yeah. So are they deep buyers? Are they going to lead to a lot of repeat? I don't know. So I don't know when people say that there's only 50-60 million. Are they talking about?
आज एक नया number मिला है. नहीं तो 60-50 मिल रहा था.
But this is from our data.
Yeah,
right?
but 85 is a significant number.
80-85 million unique buyers have interacted with our merchants and us at some point.